Hey everyone! Today we're diving into some major news that's shaking up the global economy. President Trump has just announced a temporary reduction in tariffs to 10% for most countries. Sounds like a relief, right? Well, not so fast. There's a catch. China is getting hit hard with a whopping 125% tariff. Yeah, you heard that right. This massive increase is already causing ripples across markets worldwide. So, let's break down what's happening and why it matters to you. First, let's talk about the numbers. Previously, tariffs on Chinese imports were set to rise to 34%. But Trump just cranked that number up to 104% starting today. And if that wasn't enough, an additional 50% was slapped on top after China announced its own retaliatory tariffs. And for those cheap packages from retailers like Shein and Temu, they're looking at a 90% tariff now, jumping to 150% after June 1st. So what does this mean for the market? Well, the S&P 500 has fallen for 4 consecutive days, closing below 5,000 for the first time in almost a year. That's a staggering $5.8 trillion in market value wiped out since the tariff announcement. Major indices like the Dow and Nasdaq are also feeling the pain, dropping significantly. And it's not just the US, global markets are reeling too, with Japan's Nikkei and Hong Kong's Hang Seng seeing sharp declines. Now let's talk about China's response. They're not taking this lying down. The Commerce Ministry has vowed to escalate retaliation with measures like increased tariffs on US agricultural products, bans on US poultry imports, and even suspending cooperation on fentanyl. They're also looking to restrict market access for US services and ban American films. Yeah, it's getting pretty intense. Other countries are also reacting. Canada's imposing 25% retaliatory tariffs on US-made vehicles. The EU is facing a 20% tariff on various products and considering 25% counter tariffs on US goods while broadening its trade coalition with China and other nations. South Korea and India have their strategies, and even Turkey is bracing for impact. The Bank of England's warning of higher risks of adverse market events due to these tariffs. But what about us, the consumers? Well, 3 out of 4 Americans expect prices to rise. Companies like Micron are already imposing tariff-related surcharges. Retailers are delaying orders and hiring as they brace for impact. Everyday items like running shoes made in Vietnam are seeing price hikes from $155 to $220 due to a 46% tariff. So what's next? The US has scheduled trade talks with South Korea and Japan. Italian and Spanish leaders are making moves to reassess trade relationships. Despite these negotiations, country-specific tariffs of up to 50% will take effect. Trump is open to tailored deals with individual countries, but China remains a primary target. That's all for today, folks. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. Let me know in the comments what you think about these tariffs and how they might impact you. Stay informed, stay connected. See you next time.